everyone, Christine here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to all my new subscribers. I have some design team projects for Scrap Diva Designs, and here is Erica's info, scrapdivadesigns.com, and make sure you check out our hashtag Scrap Diva Designs for tons of inspiration. And if you upload a project using her products, make sure you use that as well. And here's all of her social medias, and I'm going to leave that down below. And so before I share with you my projects, I do want to mention that I am going to be doing a giveaway. This is the Hard Mug mini album, and Erica sent me an extra one by mistake, and she said to go ahead and do a giveaway. So all you need to do to enter is just leave in the comments below, enter me, or please enter me, or something like that, just so I know you want to enter. And I know a lot of you already have this die, and you just need to leave a comment, be a follower, a subscriber, and be 18 years or older. And I'll announce the winner in about a week or so when I upload my next project. So that's that. And so let me share with you the dies I'm featuring today. And so it's this one here, the Scalloped Charcuterie Add On. And you have 5 dies in this one, and they're scalloped. And the smallest measures 1.5 by 2.5, and the largest measures 4 1/4 by 7.5. And here's all the measurements here. And now this coordinates with the charcuterie board stitched ones. And so if you already have this, they would go with this one. And also what I'm showcasing today is this die, and it's this one. It's called the long label set, and you have 2 labels and you have 2 layers. They both measure the same across. It's 2 3/4 by 5.5, and you have a ticket, and you also have some labels here which I did not use, and so I used that. And then also in this release, I'm using this die here, which is the tiered tray banner set. And also in the February release, I'm using the triple bow. There's a like a small and a medium size. They measure 3 3/8 by 3 and 2 5/8 by 2 3/8. And I shared that with you in my previous video. I'm also using the Best Friends Words, and they come with all these sentiments, and you have all these dies. You have a stitch layer and another shadow layer. And also in this release, I'm using the A2 ribbon frame, and I used the bow as well as a couple of the smaller frames. And then in my previous, in our previous releases, I'm using the A2 bow set, and I'm using the medium size one. And the medium size measures 4 1/4 inch, including like the ribbon, and the bow is 2 1/16 of an inch. Okay, and then also I'm using the heart mix die, and I use the stitched heart one. I use the heart bulb, and I use this heart, and I use the Valentine treat holder pouch. I use the XOXO, and I also use the stitched heart here. And one of my favorite dies, the double ruffle, I used the smaller scalloped and then the layer for that. And another one of my faves is the Shabby Chic Doily. I think I used the small and the medium size. And then I use the Valentine Stamp Die Set 2026. It comes with this stamp set, which stamps once, and then you take your die here, and it cuts it all out at one time too. Love this die. And then also I'm using the confetti plates. This is a must-have. I use this on everything. You have a heart plate, and you also have a bow plate. And then also the XOXO border. I use the XO, and I just chopped it off just to have XOXO, and then I also use the stitched heart. Then I use the Valentine Words 2026, and I use the hearts here. I love these hearts. And then another one of my favorites, this is the romantic heart. And I use a negative from this heart and the negatives from these hearts as well as these here, which I love. Okay, starting with, there's the Scalloped Charcuterie Add On. And so let me start with the largest one first. Isn't that pretty? So I cut them all out in white, and I think on this one I double backed it with 110 cardstock. And then I have my triple bow, and then these hearts here are from Valentine Words 2026. And then you have the heart mix heart here, and this is from the XOXO Border. And then I have Love You here. I popped up, this is from the tiered banner. I popped up the layer and I stamped Love You. And these little hearts are negatives. I'll leave it down below if not on the screen. And then I just backed it with some tulle. I have some bows here that I made with wax linen thread. And here's my XOXO, and these little shiny hearts are from the confetti plates, and I popped this up. And I also added white for the backing, and then kind of like offset it a little bit. And here's my double ruffle here. Oh, and also I used, not on this one, but on some of my labels, I used Erica's 12 by 12 Sweetheart collection, as well as the Chipboard and Ephemera pack 1 and 2. Okay, and then I have some lace here at the bottom. So this one's my large one. Oh, here's my Shabby Chic Doily. And so this is the largest one, measuring 4 1/4 by 7 1/2. So you can definitely turn this into a card or use this as a display. Make a little pocket here. And then here's the second largest one, and this one measures 4 inches across by 7 1/4. And this one is using that, it's the A2 ribbon frame. And here's the tiered tray banner set. And I did chop it off a little bit, and then I used the remaining on this one here. So I didn't want to waste it. And then I have my couple stitched hearts here. This is from the mixed heart mix, and this is from the XOXO Border. And here's my A2 bow, and I popped that up. And the heart is does not come with the bow. This is one of the fallouts from the romantic hearts, and this is from the confetti plate. And this is also fallout from the romantic heart. I did add some lace behind here just to give it a little bit of separation. And here I have my double ruffle here, and I have Text Me from the Best Friends word die set, and I have some lace at the bottom. So that's the next size down, and then here's the next size after that, and this one is 3 inches by 5 3/16. And here's another one of those banners, the tiered banners that I just layered twice. These were layered 3 times. And then these stitched hearts are from the Valentine Treat pocket. And then I have Sweetheart, which is from the Valentine Stamp Die Set. And here's the double ruffle, and I just used the layer by itself. And this is the smaller triple bow, and this heart is from the fallout from the romantic heart. So here's the 2 different sizes of the triple bow. And then the next size down, I have this one. It's 2 1/8 by 3 3/4. Isn't that adorable? And here's that little bow from the confetti plate, another fallout from the romantic heart. And again, this is the part of this one here that I cut off, and then I just added more wax linen bows. This stitched heart is from the Valentine Treat Heart Valentine treat pocket, and this one is from the heart bulbs. This little word love, I typed that from my computer, and then another one of those double ruffle layers, and then I have Forever from the Valentine Stamp Die Set. And here's the baby one. Isn't that adorable? And this one measures 1.5 by 2.5 inches. And so at the top I have from the confetti plate, the bow, and a fallout from the romantic hearts. And this one was left over from this one here, from the tiered tray banner. And this heart is from the heart bulbs, and this is from the confetti plate, and the XOXO is from the Valentine treat pocket die. And then I just added some lace there. So those are my scalloped charcuterie boards, and again I use the coordinating charcuterie boards for the layers. And then my other project is using the long label set. So you get this design and then this design, and I use this ticket and then the layers here. And so let me share with you this one. Isn't that cute? So I use the chipboard from the Sweetheart chipboard collection, and these die cuts are from the Sweetheart ephemera pack. I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2. And this is also a chipboard piece from the Sweetheart collection. And this heart and this little heart are the fallouts from the romantic hearts. And this is the A2 bow frame in the back here. And another one of the confetti hearts here. And I just added some lace at the bottom. And then also here's the other one. Oh, and my Shabby Chic Doily here. And this is from the XOXO Border and the Valentine Treat pocket die. And I have another chipboard piece, and that piece from the Sweetheart chipboard collection. And my Shabby Chic Doily. And my double ruffle is underneath here. I didn't squish it all the way down. And Besties is from the Best Friends word set. And I popped up Besties. And then I have this little ticket here, which is part of the set. And this measures 3 5/8 by 2 inches. And I just did some quick embellishing. Now this little doily is a discontinued die from Cherry Lynn. They're no longer in business. And I just layered some papers in the back. And this is from the Valentine Treat Pocket. And this is from the Heart Bulbs, this little heart. And the XOXO is also from the Valentine Treat Pocket. And here's my double ruffle, which is a layer. And I have some lace on the bottom and seam binding. And this lace here is from my twinsy, Mimi Jocelyn Designs. Hey girl. And this little heart bling piece is from Lady Cree, who has fun creations here on YouTube. Hi, my sweet friend. And that's it. I think I covered everything. So I'm going to leave all the links down below to the products that I've used. And oh, and don't forget to use my coupon code, which is Christine, as well as all of my affiliate links, which I'll leave down below. And thank you all so much for using my code. I really appreciate that. And so don't forget, if you guys are interested in winning this Heart Mug mini album, just leave me a comment below saying enter me or something like that. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And I thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now.